This is much simpler than you think, and by the end of this video, you will clearly see something that may have been right in front of you for years. Have you ever felt like you are working hard, trying to improve your life, but somehow you stay in the same place? You are not alone. Many adults feel stuck, not because they are lazy or not capable, but because of something they don't notice every day. The people around you quietly shape how you think, how you act, and even what you believe is possible. Small comments, simple jokes, daily conversations, and repeated habits slowly build your mindset. You may not see it, but over time, it can either push you forward or hold you back. This is not about blaming your friends. It is about understanding how your environment works and how it affects your growth. In this video, you will learn how to notice these hidden patterns, how to test your own circle in a very simple way, and how to protect your goals without creating conflict. You will also understand why it feels so hard to change and how to take small steps that anyone can follow without stress. If you stay until the end, you will gain a clear way to decide who helps your future and who quietly limits it. And if you find value in this, don't forget to like this video and subscribe, because what you learn today can change the direction of your life. Most people think their life is shaped by big decisions, but in real life, it is the small daily things that slowly build who they become. The people you spend time with every day quietly shape your thoughts, your habits, and even your confidence. You may not notice it at first, but your mind slowly starts to copy what it hears and sees often. This is how environment works. If your circle talks about problems all the time, your mind learns to focus on problems. If they doubt new ideas, you slowly start doubting yourself too. Think about your daily conversations. A small comment like, "That won't work," or a simple joke about your goals may look harmless. But when you hear it again and again, it starts to sit inside your mind. Over time, this repeated exposure creates self-doubt without you even realizing it. You begin to adjust your actions to match the energy around you. This is called silent influence, and it is very common in real life. Another thing to notice is how you feel after spending time with certain people. Do you feel motivated and clear, or do you feel tired, confused, or unsure? Your energy shift is a strong signal. It shows whether your environment is helping you grow or quietly holding you back. Many people ignore this feeling, but it is one of the easiest ways to understand your situation. Even your habits are affected. If your circle avoids effort, you may slowly do the same. If they stay in comfort, you may stop trying new things. This is how behavior spreads without force. The key is to start observing these patterns without blaming anyone. Just notice the difference between support and subtle discouragement. Once you see it clearly, you will understand that growth is not only about what you do, but also about who you are around every day. Now, the real question is how to clearly see if someone around you is quietly slowing you down, because this is not always loud or obvious. It usually shows up in small patterns that repeat again and again. One of the first things to notice is how people react when you talk about your goals. If you say you want to start something new, grow your income, or improve your life, do they show real support? Or do they quickly bring up fear, risk, or failure? Many people hide their doubt behind words like, "I'm just being realistic," but if it always pushes you to stop or slow down, that is a clear sign. Another simple way to see this is through jokes. Some people laugh at your plans, tease you for trying something different, or make you feel like you are doing too much. It may sound small, but repeated jokes slowly reduce your confidence. Over time, you may stop sharing your ideas at all. Also pay attention to how they treat your progress. If you improve even a little, do they notice it or ignore it completely? A healthy circle celebrates small wins, but a limiting one stays silent or changes the topic. There is also a pattern where people try to pull you back into old habits. If you start waking up early, working more, or focusing on your goals, they may invite you to skip it and return to your old routine. This is not always done in a bad way, but it keeps you stuck. You can test this easily. Share a simple plan and watch their reaction. Then track how you feel after the conversation. If you often feel drained, unsure, or less motivated, that is your answer. These signs may look small alone, but when they repeat, they clearly show who is helping your growth and who is quietly holding it back. Even when you clearly see that some people around you are slowing your growth, it is still not easy to change your circle. And there is a strong reason for that. The human mind is built to seek comfort and avoid loss, so it holds on to familiar people even when they are not helping you move forward. You may feel a deep need to belong because being accepted by a group gives a sense of safety. This is why even limiting friendships can feel hard to step away from. Another strong reason is history. These are people you have spent years with, shared memories, laughter, and struggles. Your identity slowly becomes connected to that group, so when you think about changing, it feels like you are losing a part of yourself. This creates an inner conflict where one part of you wants growth, while another part wants to stay where it feels safe. Many people stay stuck in this loop for years without understanding why. Fear also plays a big role. You may worry about what others will say if you change your habits, your goals, or your mindset. You may feel judged, misunderstood, or even rejected. This fear is not always real, but your mind treats it as a threat, so it pushes you to stay the same. There is also guilt, where you feel like moving forward means leaving others behind, even though you are only trying to improve your life. On top of that, habits are powerful. When you are used to talking, thinking, and acting in a certain way with your circle, your brain follows the same pattern without effort. Breaking that pattern feels uncomfortable at first, like stepping into something unknown. But understanding this clearly helps you see that the struggle is not weakness. It is just your mind trying to protect what feels familiar. Once you see this, you can slowly start making choices based on your future instead of your fear. Now, the good part is you don't need to fight anyone or suddenly cut people off to protect your growth, because real change can be done quietly and step by step. It starts with small boundaries that you control. You don't have to share every plan, every idea, or every goal with everyone around you. When your ideas are still new, they are weak, and too many outside opinions can break your focus. So, one simple action is to keep your plans private until they become strong through action. Another step is to manage your time more carefully. Notice how much time you spend in conversations that go nowhere, where people repeat the same problems without trying to solve them. Slowly reduce that time and use it for things that build your future, like learning a skill, improving your work, or even spending quiet time thinking clearly. This is not about avoiding people, it is about choosing where your energy goes. You also don't need to argue or prove yourself when someone doubts you. A simple response like, "Maybe, but I will try," is enough. Then move forward with your actions. This protects your mental space and keeps you away from unnecessary debates that drain your energy. At the same time, start building a better environment in small ways. You can follow people who inspire you, listen to useful content, or connect with even one person who supports growth. You don't need a big circle, just a better one. Daily habits also matter here. Replace time spent in negative talk with small actions that move you forward. Even 1 hour a day can slowly change your direction. Keep checking yourself, how you feel, how you think, and what influences you the most. In this way, without creating conflict or drama, you slowly protect your mind, your energy, and your path toward growth. As you start protecting your time, your energy, and your focus, something important begins to change inside you. You slowly become more aware of what kind of people you want around you and what kind of life you are trying to build. This is where real growth starts, not just by avoiding the wrong circle, but by choosing a better one. You don't need many people, you only need the right kind of influence. Even one person who thinks forward, takes action, and respects growth can make a big difference in your direction. At the same time, you begin to raise your own standards. You stop accepting low-effort thinking, constant complaining, and fear-based decisions as normal. You start valuing discipline, consistency, and clear thinking. This is how your identity slowly shifts. You are no longer just reacting to your environment, you are choosing it. And when you change in this way, you also start attracting people who think like you. This is how strong circles are built, not by force, but by shared values and direction. Another important change is that you learn to rely less on outside approval. You stop waiting for others to agree with your goals before you take action. You become your own support system. This does not mean you ignore advice, but you learn to filter it. You take what helps you grow and leave what holds you back. Over time, this builds confidence that is not easily shaken. You may also notice that new opportunities start to appear. When your mindset changes, your actions change, and that brings different results. You stay consistent even when you don't feel motivated because you understand that progress is built daily, not occasionally. In this way, step by step, you become the kind of person who moves forward no matter what, and your circle becomes a reflection of that strength. At the end of the day, your life does not change in one big moment, it changes through small choices you make every day. And one of the biggest choices is who you allow to influence your mind. You have now seen how simple daily conversations, small jokes, repeated habits, and quiet reactions can slowly shape your thinking, your confidence, and your direction without you even noticing it. This is why awareness is so powerful, because once you see it clearly, you cannot ignore it anymore. You don't need to hate anyone, and you don't need to fight or argue with people around you. You just need to take responsibility for your own path. That means choosing growth even when it feels uncomfortable, choosing better habits even when others stay the same, and choosing your future even when your past tries to pull you back. This is not always easy, but it is always worth it. Remember, you don't need everyone to understand you. You don't need everyone to support you. You only need to stay clear about where you are going and take small steps every day. Even a small change in how you spend your time, who you listen to, and what you focus on can slowly change your whole life. Ask yourself a simple question again and again. Does this help me move forward or hold me back? And let that guide your decisions. When you stay consistent with this, your circle will change, your mindset will become stronger, and your life will begin to move in a new direction, one step at a time.